Look at that pretty butterfly. Wow. Look at that one over there. Oh, I like. Oh, hi. This is Andy EcoCat. How are we doing today? So, here we are again. Oh, I gotta get the mic in the right place. Hang on a second. There we go. The mic is moving. Yep, yep. So, here we are again. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Andy EcoCat, as you know. I'm going to be doing a new show every day now in the morning, and then you'll have it all day to listen to it, watch it. Okay? So today I'm talking about mycelium, and I'm just going to read you the article that I wrote, and we'll take it from there. Okay? All right. So evolution is a beautiful name. All things evolve over time from its mistakes, learning from its mistakes and producing a better functioning being. Humans have evolved from fungi over millions of years. While we evolved into the two-legged creatures with their brain of today, we also kept what worked well for the fungi. Take a look at the mycelial network of fungi and take a look at the micrograph of brain cells, and you will see how neurons travel through the network highways. In humans, we like to think of ourselves as aware beings, but we rarely think of fungi as a conscious being. While in fact, it is as much aware as we are, if not even more so. Even more interesting is how the fungi have evolved and how humans have evolved. While the fungi chose to be tied to the earth, humans evolved. Evolution took them into being apart, yet dependent on the earth. Somewhere in the evolutionary past, humans were connected to the ground in many ways that they're not connected now. All living things have a connection to this fungi. Insects, plants, obviously, because they have roots which are intertwined with the mycelium, animals, birds, and humans. However, humans developed their brain into what it is today. In the beginning, while mankind was still young, humans relied on the connection that they had with this fungi. They learned to observe their fellow animals and insects. They learned to listen to the trees, the forest actually. They will feel the fungi. They will learn to smell for the results of the fungi produced. The forest has a different smell after the rain. The plants smell different. They also look different to the trained eye, like, for example, an ant. Insects developed a relationship with the fungi. The ants grow it underground as a primary food source and as well as for healing. Insects have evolved right along with the fungi over millions of years that have cohabitated. In my past articles, I often talk about bricks and how insects actually can determine if a plant has high or low Brix levels. Yes, insects have no idea what Brix means, let alone understand our primitive way of communicating. They have evolved to know when a plant is sick and thus become food for them, just like the wolf knows when a sheep is weak and sick. Many folks keep asking me about Brix and what it is. To make a long story short, Brix relates to the mineral levels in plants. It refers to a particular type of sugar levels which relate to mineral levels also. Mineral levels in plants and animals are directly related to mycelium and how mycelium breaks down minerals by using oxalic acid and calcium oxalate. The mycelium forms oxalic acid crystals, which are, look at the butterfly, which are formed by all the mycelia of the fungi. The mycelium mineralizes rock, as in rock dust, and by combining with the minerals naturally found in the rock dust. The calcium from the calcium oxalate forms two carbon dioxide molecules. This develops into a complex food web that continues to grow and eats more minerals found in the rock dust, thus creating soils that are rich in the proper minerals needed by plants and all living beings. Another interesting thing that we must understand is that if you look into space, you will also notice that space resembles mycelium fungi, only millions of times larger. Another interesting thing about space is dark matter. Dark matter, which many say is invisible, is actually very visible when one learns how actually to look. A computer model of this dark matter shows us the resemblance to the mycelium matrix. Okay, let me explain to you what I see and what I understand about all of this. First of all, we are not actually the smartest being on the planet. Mycelium is. It has been evolving hundreds of millions of years longer than us. It has patterned itself to the galaxies. While we humans have managed to separate ourselves from the interconnection of all, mycelium have actually continued to grow and communicate with itself around the world. One being here. I'm talking about one being here, as well as with the universe. Humans have managed to separate themselves from the whole. We still have the same pathways, the same senses that the mycelium have. While what this means to me is that we can communicate with this being that lives inside the earth, whose skin is the topsoil. I have a radio show called The Body in the Garden, in which myself and a doctor talk about the similarities between our bodies and the earth's body. There are tiny differences, except one, and that is we can move far beyond the boundaries of the soil. We are tied to the soil and the health of the mycelium in many ways. I said I would explain how trees communicate with each other. Well, can you guess by now how they can communicate? Can you sense the direction I'm going here? I learned to meditate early in life, but I did not know that it was called that. I was always able to sit down under a tree and listen. The tree would show me that it was aware. I would be able to feel it was happy. I would be able to feel that something was wrong with another tree. I knew that trees helped each other. I always would go to the most powerful tree in the forest, still do, and pay my respects by hugging and just sitting. The mycelium is a major communication highway for all living things, for us too. The mycelium and the environment are one. You can tell a lot about the environment you live in by the health of the mycelium. That is why I started one of my shows called It's Alive, way back in the 1970s. More on this tomorrow, okay? So there'll be more on this in the next show. And so, thank you very much. And I'm going to, hi there. You there? Hello? Hi. I was watching that butterfly go. It was really weird. Did you see that? Wow. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. Here's one of my latest songs. Happy growing now, organically, of course. Bye. Ooh.